what is going on, Nostalgics? It is Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor back again with another review, and today we're going to be covering a platforming classic also from the PlayStation 2 and from the minds of Naughty Dog Studios, the original Jak and Daxter.
I have spent my life searching for the answers that my father and my father's fathers failed to find. Who were the Precursors? Why did they create the vast monoliths that litter our planet? How did they harness Eco, the life energy of the world? What was their purpose, and why did they vanish? I have asked the plants, but they do not remember. The plants have asked the rocks, but the rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall. Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. Oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance. And why would he want to listen to old Samus the Sage anyway? I'm only the master of Green Eco, one of the wisest men on the planet. So it seems the answer begins not with careful research or sensible thinking. Nay, as with many of fate's mysteries, it begins with but a small act of disobedience.
Jak and Daxter was developed and released by Naughty Dog Studios back in 2001, the people responsible for famous games such as The Last of Us and most notably Crash Bandicoot. After developing a trilogy of games and a famous racing game on the original PlayStation 4 Crash Bandicoot, the developers decided to move on to another series with another round of platforming goodness in the form of an original character known as Jak, alongside his faithful companion Daxter. And this game turned out to be a pretty good start to a very popular platforming series. The story of Jak and Daxter involves a young boy named Jak and his friend Daxter as they sneak off to a forbidden island that they are told not to go to. In this world, everything is controlled by Eco, energy sources that can be used and manipulated by people as a source of energy and power, but can also be used as a very dangerous tool as well. In this case, while they're attacked by a mysterious thug on this island after witnessing two evil people discussing how to release a bunch of dark Eco to take over the world, they of course get caught up in an explosion. Daxter gets turned into an Ottsel, which is a combination of an Ottsel and a Weasel, and together, alongside the village sage Samos and his daughter Kira, they venture off to stop these evil mages from taking over the world with the Dark Eco, and of course turn Daxter back to normal, because who wants to be stuck in life as an Ottsel, period. So, yeah, there's that. Now, in terms of the story itself, it's very simplistic. It has a lot of goofy and charming moments, especially with Daxter, who's this idiotic comedic relief throughout the entire game, with a bunch of different quips and jokes and whatnot at every end with every other character. You're not going to get a lot of characterization from Jak in this game. That doesn't really develop until Jak 2 and 3 and other games in the series. Jak is mute throughout the entire game. Now, while this may be an issue to some, I feel like it allows you to develop your own personality for Jak as you're playing through the game, so it's really not a huge issue, especially with Daxter there, providing a lot of the talking Jak would normally need to do anyway. Jak is also very good at being responsive and very showcasing his personality to everyone in the game with his facial expressions and his actions, so he really doesn't need to talk. The characters in general are all very interesting, although they don't really get fleshed out as much throughout the entire game, and the random NPCs that you end up doing a lot of side quests and whatnot for to progress further in the game have their own distinct personalities, but again, nobody's truly really fleshed out in this game. The entire story serves as a really nice comedic backdrop, especially mostly with Daxter. All in all, though, the story isn't really going to be the strong suit of this game. It's, again, more a backdrop. The real meat and potatoes of this game is the gameplay, but story overall, not bad. It works. Let's talk about those visuals and music. Now, I mentioned in my Ratchet & Clank review that I would be doing the Jak and Daxter review, and when it comes to thinking of famous PlayStation mascots, aside from Crash, during this era, Ratchet & Clank and Jak and Daxter were both competing games, period, when it comes to the pure platforming experience. Now, Jak and Daxter's visuals compared to Ratchet & Clank's are so much more beautiful, colorful, and vibrant, and they are a marvel to look at. The different rainforests and jungles you go through, the lava effects that you have to surf and glide over them, the water effects as you traverse underwater caverns and have to travel up waterfalls, going into secret underground ruins and caverns are so amazing with the dark dankness, just adding a sense of realism to it in a way. This game is utterly beautiful and vibrant, and I'm sure if you played this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Jak and Daxter have so much detail in the models, their moves, the villages you go through, the environments and set pieces. This game looks vibrant on the PlayStation, and it really does, again, look like it's pushing the PlayStation to its limits with a lot of the graphic detail this game has. It's really good. And the music in this game is fantastic as well. Not only is there a bunch of atmospheric pieces that work really well depending on the theme of where you're going, but there are tracks in this game that will legitimately stick with you as time goes on, especially that main menu theme. That is probably one of the most iconic platforming songs I personally have heard aside from Crash Bandicoot. So the visuals and music in this game work very well for the journey, and they are fantastic. Now, for the core gameplay experience that we get throughout this game, while Jak and Daxter are traversing the land in an attempt to stop these two evil mages and, of course, find a way to turn Daxter back to normal from his dark ego transformation, there are a wide variety of moves and whatnot that you can do in this game. Now, this is the days before Dark Jak and Light Jak from in the later games, so everything here is pure platforming bliss. You have a double jump, you have a spin attack, you have a glide, you have a kicking and stomping attack that you can do, you have a roll, and all these moves are executed not just with Jak, but Daxter rides alongside Jak's shoulder throughout the entire journey. These attacks are used with Daxter as an extension. For example, when you double jump, Daxter is used as that extra jump. Whenever you're rolling, Daxter is used as an extra lunge in order to grab onto other surfaces. when you're catapulting, Daxter acts as a little extra push to help you gain that extra edge, getting over a very high platform. It's a really cool mechanic that's really utilized with the pair going on this journey, and I like the fact that they implement both of them in the same kinds of movesets. These moves aren't really anything in particular that would be different from, let's say, a Crash Bandicoot game, but these moves work really well and they're very fluid to execute with the controls, and I never really had any problem aside from a few platforming issues, which I will talk about later with some of the negative things about this game, but all in all, the controls work really well and are very responsive. And I really do like the core platforming here and the core gameplay. And of course, another main gimmick of this game, besides the pure platforming and of course the puzzles, which any platforming game typically has, the puzzles in this game aren't remarkably amazing a lot of the time. Typically you'll be going around different areas and you'll have to hit certain orbs in a certain amount of time, or if you hit a certain I don't know, let's say different platform, you have to careen off the side of a cliff or something and risk trying to jump on another platform. They're kind of obscure puzzles, timing puzzles, and just overall environmental-based obstacles you have to get past. Puzzles are serviceable for the game. I don't think they're really anything amazing compared to other platforms before it. But all in all, though, I would say the controls and the platforming and the core gameplay that you're going to be doing throughout the entire game in general, it works really well. Okay, so there are two main criticisms that I do have for Jak and Daxter, though, and one of them is probably not going to surprise you if you've watched other reviews in the past, but there are different segments of the game where you have to go and gather Precursor orbs. You need to get Precursor orbs for doing side quests and different side events and whatnot in order to progress through certain gateways, learn new moves, that kind of thing. With a certain amount of Precursor orbs that you gain from doing these tasks, or from paying a certain amount of currency to a statue, let's say, you're able to progress to the next area. The problem is a lot of these side quests to get these Precursor orbs to advance to the next main area to continue the story involve driving segments. Now, a lot of these driving segments can be really fun. I really enjoyed the lava surfing. That was a really cool addition. It's not exactly required to do this multiple times in order to get Precursor orbs, but, you know, all in all, though, they're pretty simple to get for the Precursor orbs that you do have to get during the lava surfing. But the other motorbike courses and whatnot that you have to do are very sluggish, they're very slippery, and pinpoint platforming while riding a lot of these different motor vehicles in order to get the Precursor orbs can be so sensitive and frustrating. It took me forever, for example, when I played through this game, in order to get all the Precursor orbs necessary. Now, you don't have to collect every single one to reach the end of the game. If you do, you get a small cutscene, which isn't really worth it at the end, because, you know, the bonus isn't really worth it at all for the challenge. But, I mean, the bike platform, it could have been so much better. I really wish the driving mechanics would have been handled a lot better. And the other thing with that is, I mentioned before that the controls were really well, and they do work very well for this game, platforming-wise. However, when it comes to certain controls and certain puzzles that you have to do, especially in the underground Precursor area in the second stage, my gosh, that area is awful. Electric traps everywhere, enemy placements being placed in the most terrible areas, timing segments where you have to hit orbs and make it to the other side of the arena, different moving and levitating platforms that you have to get past. It's all just... the platforming just doesn't work that well in certain confined areas like this, and when you have to pinpoint accurately, spin jump, double jump, glide, whatever you might want to call it, it's absurdly difficult in some points, and it can lock up, and it's just frustrating to execute. So Jak and Daxter will have moments like that throughout the game that you will encounter, especially for certain Precursor orb segments. So those control issues combined with like the bike segments and whatnot, I really don't like that much in this game. Does it ruin the game? Not at all. Is it something that will make certain parts of this game frustrating? Yes. All in all, though, Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy on the PS2 is a solid and really good platforming experience. Has a decent enough story with some humor from Daxter spliced in there to change it up for the player, in contrast to Ratchet and Clank. The environments are beautiful and vibrant to go through. The music really sticks out and works well. The controls work very well, and the gameplay is very addicting to get well and master. However, with some other control issues and certain platforming segments, different puzzle issues, and of course the motorbike segments being really bad, all in all, Jak and Daxter, while it does have some issues here and there with the core platforming itself and some extra stuff, it's a very good game, and I highly recommend you guys go and check it out to not just get your start in the Jak and Daxter series, but to experience more of a diverse platforming experience on the original PlayStation, because a lot of famous series like Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter were born here on the PlayStation. And Naughty Dog did an exceptional job moving from Crash Bandicoot to creating an exceptional series, so overall, Jak and Daxter, really good game. And that's going to do for this edition of Nostalgia Blast, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the next review. I have an idea of something that I want to do before June, but I want to officially announce for those of you who made it to the end of this video that the next marathon that we're going to be doing is in June for Kingdom Hearts. It's a very vibrant and popular series and is a favorite of mine as well. We'll be going through the first 5 games in the Kingdom Hearts series canonically. Kingdom Hearts 1, Rechain of Memories, 358 over 2 days, Kingdom Hearts 2, and we'll end it off with Kingdom Hearts Recoded. So, the first 5 reviews that I do in June will be those games. So look forward to that, guys, and whatever other review I come out, or review or two I come out with before the end of May. With all that in mind, guys, if you did enjoy this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to catch more videos like this in the future, and comment your thoughts and opinions down below, not just on the video, but on Jak and Daxter, the series, whatever you guys want to say. With all that in mind, Nostalgics, this has been Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor saying, keep on gaming.